the truth no one tells you. It's not a time problem. It's a boundary problem. We have a permission problem, a being everything to everyone problem. Reverse your thinking and get your life back. Wanted to give you kind of a sense of where I'm at now. I'm 4 years past my stroke. I'm going into tax season. And where am I in terms of with my practice and how I've applied the principles of my book, Reverse Thinking Required? And I had just finished reading chapter 9, and I just started to discuss a few of my thoughts on that chapter. You don't need to know that chapter per se, but I had already covered in the book setting boundaries, being your own advocate, as well as defining your input and output, basically what is it that you think you need, and is the input equaling that? How to define a number of those things, also how to find your superpower, setting boundaries, redefining expectations. Really what it comes down to with reverse thinking required is putting everything on its head, if you will. And what does that require? Well, putting yourself first. Why? Because if you are at your best, then you can do the best for everyone around you. See, in some weird way, if you really, for whatever reason, don't know how to put yourself first so everyone around you will get your best. Okay? So if you can't put yourself first for yourself, well, then put yourself first so you're at your best. And we're talking about for business here, but anyways, let's pop into this. These were my thoughts after, but I talked about for businesses that have multiple employees, and then got really specific on what my upcoming tax season is going to look like. And listen, if you stumbled across this, check out the playlist and read along the journey of reverse thinking required. So one note, if you are a business that has multiple individuals in it driving revenue, and so in a tax firm, if you have multiple individuals that is a part of your process, then you're doing these same things with each of those roles. Don't think of the person, think of the role, all right? And when you're thinking about efficiency, think about how long something takes if you're doing it at the best possible way. And if you've got somebody that's working with you and they are an expertise in nonprofits, then you would apply what we're talking about here, the principles, to that work based on their availability. See, that leads to better success and more job satisfaction for that individual as well. This isn't about working less. It's about working the right amount of hours to be always working at your best. In my industry, in the tax world, it's just a given you're going to work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours during tax season. And it's a way to, because I've done it and did it, beat your chest on how hard you're working. Are you ready for this? Here's where I'm at. I had a stroke October 13th of 2021. So here I am right now going into 2026, going into tax season 26. So this stuff didn't happen overnight. So the tax season following my stroke was 2022. Then you have 23. Then you have 24. Then you have 25. Okay. So the fifth tax season, here's where I'm at. You ready? We are only doing one deadline tax work for clients, meaning if a client has more than one tax deadline, they're not aligned with me or my practice. So I have a client and they need an S corporation done. That S corp is a client. Now, if that same client also owns real estate in a partnership, well, that partnership is another client. Doesn't matter that they're the same owners. But see, each client engagement is one deadline. So no sales tax, no payroll. Now, we do have one minor exception. We do help with the annual business personal filings. But you know what we do? We do all the work related to that in December before tax season, even though those have to be prepared. And we have, for all of our clients that we do that for, during tax season, we have it completed in 6 hours. 6 hours for the entire firm all at once because we did all the actual work in December. Yes, we do some Form 1099 work. And right now you're like, well, that doesn't sound like one deadline. You're right. But guess what? We did all that work in December. We did all that work in December. And we did some quick verifications if need be for certain clients in January. But all of that work was done in the first 3 business days of the year. All 1099s prepared because we already did all the work. And so what I looked at here, though, is what then is the driver of revenue? So for us to do a business personal property tax return, on average, it's $750. Okay. That's good use of time, great input for excellent, excellent, excellent output. So what we told our clients is this is probably something you could do yourself if you don't have any new assets, based on where I'm at. Also on the 1099s, we have a number of clients that we said, you need to do your own 1099s. And they do. And we don't have that many clients that we do 1099s for. All right. But you know what we charge is an arm and a leg to do 1099s. Why? Because we don't want to do them. And so if we're going to do them, they're going to pay dearly for it. Okay. And we even tell the clients, you could get this done cheaper somewhere else or online or doing it yourself. Here's the software. I have a video. Here's how you install the software. Here's how the software works. Here's how you input it. Here's how you do it step by step, all by yourself. And guess what? The clients, though, that still want us to do it. Now, guess what? You know how much time I spend on 1099s and 901s, which is the business property? 0, 0, 0, 0. So my point is that if you have a firm, okay, it's okay if you have different streams of revenue, different services, but all of that drives to that one deadline that I'm involved with, okay, that one deadline work. And we have then a requirement that by January 31st, all businesses must, without exception, have their books reconciled and or have their financials to us, depending on what level we're looking at. And all of our business returns are done by the end of February, with the exception of a return that might be getting a K1, but it is done otherwise. Done. There are no exceptions. The exceptions each year get culled out, if that's the right word, cut off. Told the clients well in advance it was their choice to work outside our needs. We require all clients to get us their individual tax documents by the end of February, period. In fact, we request them by February 15th, but we give some grace period. And all the individual returns are prepared by the end of March. And when we hit April, yes, we have a few clients that we have to file extension for, but only for one reason. They're waiting on a K1. We're not waiting on the client. We're not waiting on anything else from any other third party other than a K1 that we know is going to come eventually. But that return was done by the end of March. And we're using then the first 2 weeks of April to make sure that everything is getting filed and timely, and ensuring that for those few that we're doing estimates for extension, that we have a good number. But how did I get to that? Because are you ready for this? Here's how many hours I'm going to work during tax season. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2 hours per day. That'll be all the time that I will be putting in. And the product that we're going to put out this year literally will be the best in my career. I won't work weekends and I won't work evenings. I don't carry a cell phone anymore. Cell phone stays at the office. And I have a full-time person that works with me that when I'm not in the office, they have that phone with them, answering it and texting back.
If I'm in, I can take a call, I can text. So the bottom line is my clients, what do they want? I want to complete what they actually need, which is a one deadline service, their tax return. But that's not what a client wants. Client doesn't want me to do their tax return. They need me to do the tax return, but what they want is for me to help them find ways strategically, smartly to save taxes. And guess when we're doing that? The rest of the year outside of tax season. And how many hours a week am I spending then? Well, that's when I'm putting in the real time. How much? Don't work Fridays. Don't work Mondays. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No meetings before 10 a.m. No meetings after 4 p.m. And I'm not running out of breath from one thing to the next. And I have a system in play that all of the work is done ahead of time for me now to sit with the client. And I've designed a practice for me where, as a surgeon would be in a medical practice, I show up in the operating room to actually do only the part that is required of a surgeon. And then that surgeon, yes, has to have some office hours, but they're only involved in the process that has to be because of the surgeon before the surgery. So I hope, but I feel my clients have high satisfaction and enjoy paying, for lack of a better word, for our services, for my services, because they get what they want. And I get to provide it to them when I have the most time available. And when we're in tax season, we're not doing planning and strategy. What we're doing is cleaning up the prior year, as in wrapping it and putting a bow on it. So that all came to where we are right now, picking what I'm best at, setting boundaries, being my own advocate, defining my time, my staff's time, my team's time, to know the amount of input for the right output. My right-hand person takes an entire month off in the summer with pay. Here's the deal. It works. It can work. It can work. And you know what it takes is bravery and confidence. All right. Hey, thanks for joining the journey. Please continue on. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. If not already, please like, comment. And if you're getting anything out of this, I'd love for you to share it with a friend. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. On to the next one.
Everyone tells you to make the same moves as last year, just faster. Reverse thinking required is the moment you stop playing their game and force the board to play yours. I'm JJ-the-CPA. This is the blueprint I use to rebuild my practice